Welcome to the Action Hero podcast. Get ready for an action-packed episode because you guys have sent in two incredible stories, really just bursting with action and twists. And today we are going to unpack some serious heroism, some clever strategies, really just fascinating stuff.
Yeah, these aren't your everyday, like average action stories either. What really struck me when I was looking at the material that you shared was the ingenuity at the heart of these characters' survival.
Absolutely. First up, we have Maggie's story. She's a teenager, and honestly, on the surface kind of seems ordinary, maybe even a bit awkward. But at the shooting range, oh boy, she's got this remarkable ability. And you highlighted this in your notes. It's not some natural-born talent. It's something she's honed through, like intense observation.
Precisely. It kind of makes you think about the power of dedication and mimicry when it comes to developing skills. And it makes you wonder, what kind of potential we all have to develop these unexpected talents if we just put in the focused effort.
It really does. And then she's thrown into this like high stakes national sharpshooting competition. And you noted the contrast in your outline, right? Maggie with her like well-worn, almost kind of beat up gear, surrounded by all this top of the line equipment, it sets her apart immediately.
Oh, it's classic underdog scenario, right? And you pointed out how her initial success isn't met with cheers and celebration, but suspicion. People are whispering about flukes, they're questioning her legitimacy, almost like they're looking for reasons to dismiss her success instead of acknowledging real skill, especially coming from, well, her.
Yeah, and things escalate pretty quickly from there. Maggie starts overhearing these like hushed conversations, and suddenly the top shooters are faltering.
Yeah.
It becomes really clear, as you mentioned in your notes, that this competition isn't exactly what it seems. There's something much darker going on.
Yeah, it really raises that question about the true nature of these seemingly legitimate competitions. Your notes really hit on that growing unease that Maggie feels.
Yeah.
And it highlights how what we perceive as fair and square can actually be a facade for something much more manipulative.
And then we have this moment, almost like something out of a movie, where Maggie intentionally misses a shot. And suddenly, she's approached by these men in a black car. They offer her money, training. It's obvious they want to exploit her abilities. You really emphasized her internal conflict in your notes, the need to appear naive while facing a genuinely threatening situation.
Right, and her feigned innocence becomes her most effective tool. By playing the part, pretending she doesn't fully grasp what's going on, she disarms them, buys herself valuable time. It's a fascinating example of using perception as a weapon.
And then the final day of the competition arrives. The pressure's intense, but Maggie doesn't try to win. Instead, she does the unexpected, right? She just shoots terribly, so badly that she becomes a laughingstock. And you pointed out this was a calculated move.
Exactly. By appearing completely incompetent, she removes herself as a threat, as a valuable asset. She becomes, well, irrelevant to them. It's a brilliant, if unconventional, strategy for self-preservation. What would you say is the most surprising aspect of her approach?
For me, it's that she didn't fight back in the traditional sense. She used their own assumptions, their biases against them. And what's great is she doesn't give up shooting entirely. She just chooses to pursue it on her terms. Her real victory isn't about winning that competition. It's escaping that dangerous situation and making them underestimate her.
It's a powerful reminder that appearances can be deceiving. And sometimes the best way to overcome a challenge isn't head-on, but through, well, strategic misdirection.
Okay, let's switch gears completely. We're going to feudal Japan for the second story you sent in. Ninja Robot Uprising. This is a wild one. It blends historical setting with some seriously unexpected technology, and that's ninjas encountering metal warriors.
Talk about a fascinating juxtaposition. You have the established world of ninja clans, samurai, all that, and then suddenly, boom, this element that feels straight out of science fiction. It really gets you thinking about the potential for those unexpected technological leaps, even in historical contexts.
We start with the Shadow Wind clan, these legendary ninjas, and rumors start swirling about these metal warriors. You highlighted young Kazuo's skepticism in your summary. He just dismisses it all as folklore.
It's a natural reaction, right? I mean, automatons in that historical period, it seems so out of place. Kazuo's skepticism really grounds the narrative before we get to the extraordinary.
But then, as you described it, their village is attacked, and it's brutal. This isn't just a small fight, it's a full-on assault by the Shogun's forces. And the order to retreat, it's devastating. You really captured that, Kazuo's rage, the clan's desperation for any edge they can get.
That retreat really hammers home the sheer power of their enemy, and it sets the stage for them needing, well, a game changer. Their traditional skills aren't enough against the Shogun's army, so they've got to find unconventional solutions.
And it's in that moment, escaping, desperate, that Kazuo makes a discovery. He finds a hidden cave, and it's full of these ancient robots. Not clunky machines, you describe them as sleek, humanoid figures made of bronze and silver. I'm curious, what was your first reaction when you came across this in the source material?
The imagery is so striking. It evokes this idea of a lost civilization, one with a surprisingly advanced understanding of mechanics. And immediately, it raises questions like who built these things? Why were they hidden?
And what's impressive is Kazuo's ability to decipher the ancient scrolls he finds there. He figures out how to translate the old language into commands for these robots. It's this amazing blend of ancient knowledge and cutting-edge, well, for the time, technology.
It speaks volumes about the enduring value of historical texts, the potential for rediscovering lost knowledge that could have a huge impact. Kazuo's intellect becomes like this crucial asset for the clan.
And then we see the army awakening. It starts slow, just one automaton and then more, until there's a full squad. You can practically feel the anticipation as these machines power up.
That slow reactivation, it builds this sense of mystery, of wonder. It's not instantaneous, it's deliberate, and it hints at the complexity of these things.
When the rest of the clan sees these metal warriors, they're shocked at first. But that quickly shifts to understanding, to realizing the potential. And then we get this amazing training phase that you detailed in your notes. Ninjas teaching robots stealth and combat.
Such a cool concept. They're adapting their existing skills in a brilliant way. The ninjas bring their expertise in infiltration, close-quarters combat, while the robots offer strength and resilience. It's a true partnership, combining the best of both worlds.
And when they finally clash with the Shogun's forces, it's a complete surprise attack. These metal figures emerge from the shadows, and the Shogun's army, they're totally unprepared. You described their shock and confusion so well in your summary.
That element of surprise is their greatest advantage, and it's amplified by the robot's unique capabilities. The Shogun's forces are expecting a conventional fight, so they're totally caught off guard.
They do defeat the Shogun in this first battle, but like you pointed out, the war's far from over. The robot army is a powerful shield, but not a guaranteed victory. That final image you described, ninjas and robots standing together in the firelight, it perfectly captures that fusion of the past and the future.
And it leaves you thinking about what happens next, the long-term implications of this alliance, their ongoing struggle. It makes you consider how new technologies can reshape not just warfare, but society itself.
Wow, the resourcefulness, the bravery, it's incredible. Maggie's deception, the ninja clan's use of ancient tech, it all shows how thinking outside the box can help overcome incredible odds.
It's a testament to human ingenuity, right? Maggie's story shows how being underestimated can be a strategic advantage. And the ninjas demonstrate the power of embracing the unexpected, of adapting what's been forgotten.
It makes you wonder, right? How often do we underestimate the power of seeming ordinary, just like Maggie? And with the ninjas, what other lost technologies or forgotten knowledge might hold surprising power if we rediscovered and adapted them?
These stories are a great example of how individuals and groups can overcome adversity through ingenuity and thinking outside the box.
We hope these stories have sparked your imagination and given you some exciting new perspectives on action and adventure. Be sure to rate and follow the Action Hero podcast for more thrilling tales that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Thanks for joining us.